and set down. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mr. President-elect, Mr. Vice President-elect, ladies and after that election, they actually discovered a flaw in the Constitution itself, which was remedied by the 12th Amendment. Thomas Jefferson, at that inauguration, beyond the chaos of the election that had just passed, said, "We are all Republicans, we are all Federalists." After 4 years of Civil War, Lincoln's second inaugural speech tried to find reason for the continued war when he pointed out that both sides pray to the same God. He'd earlier written about those fervent prayers that one side must be and both sides may be wrong. But in 1865, he looked to the future, and the memorable moment in that speech was, "With malice toward none and charity for all." In the middle of the Depression, the country was told that the only thing we had to fear was fear itself. And President Kennedy talked about the obligation in democracy to country. The great question that day was, ask what you can do for your country. So we come to this place again, commonplace and miraculous, a national moment of celebration, but not a celebration of victory, a celebration of democracy. And as we begin that celebration, I call on His Eminence Timothy Mike.
Guide us in discernment, Lord, and give us that strength to persevere and thrive. Now find and heal our wounds and divisions, and join our nation.
Because this moment is your moment, it belongs to you. It belongs to everyone gathered here today and everyone watching all across America. This is your day. This is your celebration. And this, the United States of America, is your country. What truly matters is not which party controls our government, but whether our government is controlled by the people. January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. Everyone is listening to you now. You came by the tens of millions to become part of a historic movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before. At the center of this movement is a crucial conviction that a nation exists to serve its citizens. Americans want great schools for their children, safe neighborhoods for their families, and good jobs for themselves. These are just and reasonable demands of righteous people and a righteous public. But for too many of our citizens, a different reality exists. Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation. An education system flush with cash, but which leaves our young and beautiful students deprived of all knowledge, and the crime, and the game. And the drugs that have stolen too many lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. We are one nation, and their pain is our pain. Their dreams are our dreams, and their success will be our success. We share one heart, one home, and one glorious destiny. The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans. For many decades, we've enriched foreign industry at the expense of American industry, subsidized the armies of other countries while allowing for a very sad depletion of our military. We've defended other nations' borders while refusing to defend our own. And spent trillions and trillions of dollars overseas while America's infrastructure has fallen into disrepair and decay. We've made other countries rich while the wealth, strength, and confidence of our country has dissipated over the horizon. One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores, with not even a thought about the millions and millions of American workers that were left behind. The wealth of our middle class has been ripped from their homes and then redistributed all across the world. But that is the past. And now we are looking only to the future. we assembled here today are issuing a new decree to be heard in every city, in every foreign capital, and in every hall of power. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first. Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries, making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs. A great honor, the honor of a lifetime, the greatest people in the world, the greatest home in the world. I call it a home. We've had an amazing 4 years. We've accomplished a lot. We love the American people, and again, it has been something very special. And I just want to say goodbye, but hopefully it's not a long-term goodbye. We'll see each other again. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have the Crown Prince with us. Saudi Arabia has been a very great friend and a big purchaser of equipment and lots of other things, and one of the biggest investments in the United States is I guess it's your big investment, is buying stock in companies and various other things in the United States and creating jobs. We've become very good friends over a fairly short period of time. I was in Saudi Arabia in May, and we are bringing back hundreds of billions of dollars into the United States, and we understand that, and they understand that. Some of the things that have been approved and are currently under construction and will be delivered to Saudi Arabia very soon, and that's for their protection. But if you look in terms of dollars, $3 billion, $533 million, $525 million, that's peanuts for you. Should have increased it. $880 million, $645 million, $6 billion, that's the frigates. 889 million, 63 million, and that's for various artillery. Some of the things that we're now working on and have been ordered and will shortly be started in construction and delivered. That system, $13 billion. The C-130 airplanes, the Hercules, great plane, $3.8 billion. The Bradley vehicles, that's the tanks, $1.2 billion. And the P-8 Poseidons, $1.4 billion. And what it does is it really means many, many jobs. We're talking about over 40,000 jobs in the United States. So we make the best equipment in the world. There's nobody even close. And Saudi Arabia is buying a lot of this equipment, and a lot of people are at work making the equipment, not only for us, because we, as you know, we're getting a $700 billion military proposal. And that's even a lot for you guys. But we're getting a $700 billion military plan this year, and 716 will be next year, $716 billion. So we really have a great friendship, a great relationship. I would really have to say the relationship was, to put it mildly, very, very strained during the Obama administration. And the relationship now is probably as good as it's really ever been. And I think we'll probably only get better. Tremendous investments made in our country, and that means jobs for our workers, jobs for our people. Also defense. We're talking about defense, and we're working very hard with Saudi Arabia, and they're also putting a big part of the bill for defense. The whole Middle East. And you know what's happened in the Middle East? and it has not been a pretty picture for the United States or for anybody. And a lot of things are changing, and they're changing very rapidly. As you know, ISIS is now, we've recaptured almost 100% of the territory, as you probably have heard, before anybody. But we've captured close to 100% of the territory held by ISIS. We've moved very rapidly, very quickly, and that's really coming to an end in that part of the world. It's coming to an end, and we'll be able to get out of certain areas that we've wanted to get out of for a long period of time, and other countries can handle it. At this point, they'll be able to handle it. So it's a great honor to have you and your representatives here. Conference, thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, the relation with Saudi Arabia and West Africa, it's our relation. We are the oldest ally in West America and the Middle East. More than 80 years alliance and big interest, politically, economically, and security, in different area, a lot of area. And the foundation of the relation is really huge and really deep in different issue. We know that today the relation is the cause of more than 4 million jobs in the US of America, directly and not directly. Also, it's a cause for a lot of jobs in Saudi Arabia, directly and non-directly. And as you know, Mr. President, from day one, we've reached this office. We plan to tackle $200 billion US dollar opportunity in the next 4 years, but it end up with $400 billion US dollar opportunities. We talked today, Mr. President, about the military deals. The implementation in it is more than 50%, and also the implementation overall, $400 billion US dollar of opportunity, more than 55%. We plan this for the next 10 years, but it happens in 1 year we implement 35%. So this is a signal that there is a lot of things could be tackled in the close future and more opportunities, and that's why we are here today to be sure that we tackle all the opportunities and achieve it, and also get rid of all the threats facing our both countries and the whole world. So I'm very glad to be here.
Well, that's right. And you know, one thing that you have been really focused on is the terrorism threat and the funding of terrorism. And whether it's Saudi Arabia or other countries, as we know, there will be no funding. We have a zero tolerance for the funding of terror. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. President Putin and I have been discussing various things, and I think it's going very well. We've had some very, very good talks. We're going to have a talk now, and obviously that will continue. But we look forward to a lot of very positive things happening for Russia, for the United States, and for everybody concerned. And it's an honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Я очень рад с вами встречаться, и мы с вами обсуждаем этот ряд вопросов, и будем продолжать обсуждать целый ряд вопросов. И я с нетерпением ожидаю такой возможности. Я думаю, что это все будет позитив как для России, для Соединенных Штатов, так и для всех. Для меня большая честь встречаться.
Уважаемый господин президент, мы с вами несколько раз разговаривали по телефону.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, we spoke over the phone with you several times
И по очень важным вопросам двусторонней повестки дня и международной.
on very important bilateral and international issues.
Конечно, телефонных разговоров недостаточно.
Well, phone conversation is never enough, definitely.
Если мы хотим решать вопросы позитивные двусторонней повестки дня и наиболее важные острые вопросы международной повестки, то, конечно, такие встречи лично необходимы.
So if we want to have a positive development in bilaterals and be able to resolve most acute international topics and issues, definitely we need personal meetings.
Я очень рад с вами познакомиться, господин президент, и надеюсь, что, как вы сказали, наша встреча несет позитивный результат.
I'm delighted to be able to meet you personally, Mr. President, and I hope, as you have said, our meeting will yield positive results in the years after this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Leadership. You agree with that? It's really good. We've become friends, and we're going to be doing a lot of deals together, trade deals. We have a whole trade delegation here, and we will start doing a lot of trading with Indonesia. We do very little business relatively now. very soon. You're going to find out very soon. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. It's an honor to have the Prime Minister of Vietnam, the White House and the Oval Office. Prime Minister Phuc has done a spectacular job in Vietnam, led so many different categories in trade and other things. We're going to be discussing trade, we're going to be discussing North Korea. We have many things to talk about, and we look forward to being together. Very much so.
Tôi cảm ơn Tổng thống đã mời tôi thăm chính thức Hoa Kỳ. Tôi xin chuyển lời thăm hỏi thân thiết nhất của nhân dân Việt Nam đến nhân dân Hoa Kỳ. Xin chào tất cả các bạn phóng viên.
Begin by thanking you, Mr. President, for inviting me to pay this official visit to the United States and bring me the warmest greetings from the Vietnamese people to each and every American, and greetings to you all, dear friends.
Quan hệ Việt Nam Hoa Kỳ trong lịch sử đang bước thăng trầm, nhưng nay là đối tác toàn diện của nhau.
The relationship between Vietnam and the United States have undergone significant upheavals in history, but today we have been able to become comprehensive partners.
Tôi rất ấn tượng với Tổng thống Donald Trump về sự thân thiện, cởi mở khi Ngài điện đàm và biểu thư cho chúng tôi. Tôi tin tưởng chắc chắn rằng cuộc hội đàm chiều nay của chúng tôi sẽ thành công tốt đẹp, đóng góp vào sự phát triển của hai nước Việt Nam, Hoa Kỳ trên cơ sở tôn trọng, bình đẳng lẫn nhau vì hòa bình, phát triển của ASEAN, của khu vực châu Á Thái Bình Dương và của thế giới.
I have had the great pleasure of having a phone conversation with the President last December, and also in exchange of letters. I was very impressed by the openness and friendliness of the President, and I'm confident that our meeting today will be equally candid and open, and will be fruitful to set out major directions for our enhanced Vietnam-US cooperation on the basis of mutual respect and equality in the interest of peace, stability, cooperation and development in ASEAN, in the Asia-Pacific and the world.
Chúng tôi vui mừng được đón Tổng thống Donald Trump ở Việt Nam nhân dịp Ngài đến dự hội nghị APEC. Rất trân trọng mời Ngài thăm chính thức Việt Nam trong dịp này.
We very much look forward to welcoming you, Mr. President, to Vietnam to attend the APEC Economic Leaders meeting in Da Nang, as well as pay an official visit to Vietnam in November this year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Are you meeting with your husband, sir?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Usually the private name is the host, so.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
What do you say we have again?
Everybody, and it's a good honor to be with you. Countries have a wonderful relationship together. That's a little story, but there won't be Spain with this administration. We're going to have a very, very long-term good relationship, and we look forward to it very much. Many of the same things in common. Thank you for your
We have a great relationship with the States of America. The President presents it so great. For Bahrain, it's been 120 years of relations with America, based on a very good foundation of mutual understanding and strategy that we all work with, led
Thank you very much. It's great to have Prime Minister Abe, a friend of mine and somebody we've just developed a great relationship. And it's wonderful to have him here. We'll be discussing many things, including, of course, North Korea, which is very much on our minds. We'll be discussing terrorism, but I think we will really be in particular focused on the North Korea problem. It's a big problem. It's a world problem. And it will be solved. At some point, it will be solved. You can bet on that. And I just want to thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。安倍総理大臣になられて、今年の友人であります。いい関係が構築することができました。本日いらしていただいて、大変光栄に思います。本日、もちろん北朝鮮について話すこともありますし、テロの問題について話すこともあります。しかし、特に北朝鮮という問題、これはもう世界的な問題であります。これは断言できます。絶対解決する問題です。今日、どうもありがとうございます。
管理として、大統領となとコメントしたいとです。
It's a great pleasure for me to see you again.
ただ一つ残念なことは、今回はどうですかですね。
There's one unfortunate thing that I have to confess. This time around, we won't be able to play golf together.
NATO として中東訪問の大成功で地位を表彰したいと思います。世界の安全保障について強いコミットしていく姿勢を示しておられますことに対して評価したいと思います。
And also at the outset, I'd like to congratulate you on your successful visit to the Middle East region, as well as your participation in the NATO summit. And through your visit, I understand that you have demonstrated robust commitment to ensuring global security, and I highly value your commitment.
北朝鮮の問題を含むと、世界のさまざまな課題に共にしっかりと連携していくことを確認する首脳会談としたいと思います。
Of course, as you mentioned, we are going to talk about North Korean issues, but also we are going to cover other challenges of the international community. And on this occasion, I would like to reconfirm our close partnership as well as collaboration in addressing those of the challenges.
Well, I want to say that it is reconfirmed. It is a close partnership and collaboration and friendship. We developed a great friendship. And I look forward to being with you, spending some time with you, and I'll be seeing you for today, and I'll be seeing you, I'm sure, many times over the years to come, and I look forward to that. Thank you.
これ我々の関係を再確認することができます。大変親しい関係になっています。そして友情も作ることができました。これからたくさん時間を一緒に過ごすこともありますし、今後数年後も一緒に協力することもあると思います。それも対応しております。ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have with us the Prime Minister of Japan, and we have many things that we've been discussing and that we will continue to discuss right now and later on this afternoon. We've made a lot of progress on trade and other elements. We're also talking, obviously, about North Korea and the problem and menace of North Korea. And the Prime Minister is...
I think it's great to have the opportunity, Mr. President, to talk with you again and to continue to build on the special relationship we have with the United States. Looking forward to that, particularly obviously in the area of trade, as our talks are beginning very positively in that area. But there's a lot of other big international issues for us to talk about today, on counter-terrorism, on tensions in the Middle East. I think there's a great deal that we can work on together.
Well, we've had a great group of people together, and it's really done a fantastic job together. I'd like to thank Prime Minister May for being with us. We've had tremendous talks. There is no country that could possibly be closer than our countries, and for a long time. And I just want to say thank you very much. We're working on a trade deal, which will be a very, very big deal, very powerful deal, great for both countries. And I think we'll have that done very, very quickly. We have all of our trade people. We have Wilbur Ross with us. We have all of the trade people. Rex and I had a tremendous meeting yesterday with President Putin. And we've had really great meetings with a lot of people. We're having a lot today, but Prime Minister May and I have developed a very special relationship. And I think trade will be a very big factor between our two countries. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with President Poroshenko of Ukraine, a place that we've all been very much involved in, and you've been seeing it, and everybody's been reading about it. And we've had some very, very good discussions. It's going to continue throughout the day, and I think a lot of progress has been made, and it's a great honor to have you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you very much. First time in the Oval Office for the President and Mrs. Macron. And it's a great, great honor to have them here. He's been my friend for many years. We've known each other for long prior to politics. And who would have thought this was going to happen? For both of us. But this is a great, wonderful person, and he will be a great president of Argentina. I have absolutely no doubt. Absolutely. We're just going to be great friends, better than ever before. And we're off to a wonderful start because I've known Mauricio for so many years. And I know the kind of person he is. He's a great person, and he's a great leader. He will do a fantastic job for Argentina, and I feel very comfortable backing him because they need certain things from the United States. I feel very comfortable backing him because I know what I'm backing. I'm backing a man who loves his people and loves his country. We are thinking about, I know all about the lemons, and believe it or not, the lemon business is a big, big business. So we are going to give that very serious consideration. One of the reasons he's here is about lemons. And I'll tell him about North Korea, and he'll tell me about lemons. But I think we're going to great honor to be with the American Queen, and a special person I've gotten to know very well. They buy tremendous amounts of our military equipment that are invested in the United States. And that's what we like to hear. We like to hear about jobs, jobs, jobs. And they are spending a lot of money on new planes, including the Boeing F-18, we like very much, which I like very much also. And we appreciate all of the investment that you make in the United States and all of the jobs that you create. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are trying to further strengthen these bilateral relations with the United States. Meanwhile, we will talk really great to have my friend, President El-Sisi, with us. We've really been through a lot together, very positively, and helped us so much with Aya, and the release of Aya, and the American public so appreciated that, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank the General. Very, very much appreciated. We have some very important talks going on with Egypt, and you have done a tremendous job under very trying circumstances, and safety seems to be very strong. So we appreciate that, and congratulations on really doing a terrific job. Thank you.
أنا بشكرك على تحت الفرصة اللي أنا خدت بيه والحقيقة بتعكس المرضى المستجدين. بشكرك.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for making the time to meet. As a matter of fact, this meeting really speaks of the strategic nature of the relationship between Egypt and the United States.
وعمري سعيد جدا بالكلمة اللي حصلت في جدا وزور مصر وشكرا.
It will be a great pleasure to us in Egypt if we have the privilege of you visiting us.
أنا بطمنك يا فندم رئيس على مصر كبيرة وعمال.
To be with the newly elected president of France, who ran an incredible campaign and had a tremendous victory. All over the world they're talking about it, and we have a lot to discuss, including terrorism and other things, and congratulations, great job.
Thank you very much. Je suis très heureux pour ma part aussi d'être avec le président Trump. On a un agenda extrêmement large à discuter. Je dis la lutte contre le terrorisme, l'économie, les sujets climatiques et énergétiques. Et l'occasion de ce sommet de l'OTAN est pour nous aussi l'occasion d'une première rencontre. Je suis très heureux de pouvoir ensemble changer beaucoup de choses.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have Chancellor Merkel, and I will say that you can rest assured she was going to win that election, and congratulations on winning. And by the way, a formal congratulations. That was a great victory. We're working on a lot of different subjects, including trade, including NATO, including military of all types, and we have a really great relationship. And we actually have had a great relationship right from the beginning, but some people didn't understand that. But we understand it, and that's what's important. But a very extraordinary woman, and it's an honor to have you at the White House. Thank you very much.
Dankeschön. Dankeschön auch für den Empfang und für die Glückwünsche zur Wiederwahl. Die Regierungsbildung hat etwas gedauert, aber jetzt war es mir ganz wichtig, als ersten Besuch außerhalb Europas hier nach Washington zu kommen und unsere Zusammenarbeit zu vertiefen. Und ich freue mich auf die Gespräche.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this very warm reception and also for the word of congratulation. It took some time to build the government, that is certainly true, but I thought it was very important on this first visit outside of Europe to come to the United States, to come to Washington in order to yet again underline that we wish to deepen our relationship further, and I hope and trust that I'm very much looking forward to the very good talks that I trust we will have today.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were honored. It was a great report. No collusion, which I knew anyway. No coordination, no nothing. It's a witch hunt. That's all it is. There was no collusion with Russia, if you can believe this one. She probably can't believe it. Who can? But the report was very powerful, very strong. There was no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian people. As I've said many times before, I've always said there was no collusion, but I've also said there has been nobody tougher on Russia than me. With that all being said, if we can get along with Russia, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But there has been nobody tougher on Russia than me. I was very honored by the report. It was totally conclusive, strong, powerful. Many things said that nobody knew about and said in a very strong way. They were very forceful in saying that the Clinton campaign actually did contribute to Russia. So maybe somebody ought to look at that. But what we really should do is get on with our lives and get on with a lot of things. We have a lot of great things happening, including potentially with North Korea, Angela, as you see. A lot of very positive things happened over the last 24 hours.
We're in total touch with both North Korea and South Korea. We'll be setting up a meeting very shortly. We have it broken down to probably 2 sites now, 2 or 3 sites, locations, and hopefully we're going to have great success. We'll see what happens, but hopefully we're going to have great success. So President Moon and I are speaking, and we're speaking very much with South Korea and with North Korea. The relationships are building and building strongly, and this will be a great thing for the world. This will be a great thing for Germany, but this will be a great thing for the world. Angela and I have discussed this over the period of the last 15 months quite a bit, North Korea, the North Korean problem, and I think you're seeing that a lot of very positive things are happening. I don't know. I think we'll be talking about Iran probably, but I don't necessarily expect it one way or the other. I know we're going to have a very good discussion on Iran, as I did with Emmanuel, who's just left, the president of France. So we'll be having discussions on Iran. We'll be having discussions on trade. We'll be having various discussions. Oh, I don't think he's playing. No, I don't think he's playing. And you know, it's never gone like this. It's never gone this far. I don't think it's ever had this enthusiasm for them wanting to make a deal. And yeah, I agree. The United States has been played beautifully like a fiddle because you had a different kind of a leader. We're not going to be played, okay? We're going to hopefully make a deal. If we don't, that's fine. The United States in the past was played like a fiddle. Money going in, and nobody knew what was happening. The day after an arrangement was made, if you call it a deal, I doubt it, but an arrangement was made. They start with the nuclear weapons again. That's not happening to us. We will, I think, come up with a solution. And if we don't, we leave the room with great respect. We leave the room and we just keep it going. I also will tell you that President Xi of China has been very helpful at the border. And I want to acknowledge that. I think it's very important to acknowledge. But President Xi has been extremely helpful to me. We have a very good relationship. He's been extremely helpful to me at the border. So we'll see where it all goes. But no, this isn't like past administrations. We don't play games. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I very much appreciate it. We're here with a man who's become a friend of mine, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mrs. Trudeau. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we are discussing many things, including NAFTA. So we have discussions scheduled for quite a few subjects. And I think we both look very much forward. And I want to just let you go. It's a great honor to have you both with us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great to be back here in the Oval Office. As the President said, a lot of things to discuss. We have an incredibly close relationship with two countries that are interwoven in our economies, in our cultures, in our peoples. But we have a good partnership, and there's always ways to improve it. Always issues we need to talk through, and that's why having an ongoing constructive relationship between the President and the Prime Minister is really important, and I'm glad to be able to meet with you here again today. Merci beaucoup. Toujours bien d'être rencontré avec des amis et des amis.
We'll see what happens. There's a tough negotiation, and it's something that you will know in the not too distant future. We are going to be discussing NAFTA, and we'll be discussing defense, because we have these are truly great and original allies, and mutual defense is very important. And I guess we'll also be discussing mutual offense, which people don't mention too often, but offense is part of defense. So we have many things to talk about, but NAFTA will certainly be a big factor today. Okay? No, I never discussed increasing it. I wanted it in perfect shape. That was just fake news by NBC, which gives a lot of fake news. Okay? No, I never discussed. I think somebody said I want 10 times the nuclear weapons that we have right now. Right now we have so many nuclear weapons. I want them in perfect condition, perfect shape. That's the only thing I've ever discussed. General Mattis put out a statement, or is putting out a statement, saying that that was fake news, that it was just mentioned that way. And it's frankly disgusting the way the press is able to write whatever they want to write.
and people should look into it. No, I want to have absolutely perfectly maintained, which we are in the process of doing, nuclear force. But when they said I want 10 times what we have right now, it's totally unnecessary, believe me, because I know what we have right now. We won't need an increase, but I want modernization and I want total rehabilitation. It's got to be in tip-top shape. Well, I don't think anything changed. We're negotiating a NAFTA deal. It's time after all of these years, and we'll see what happens. It's possible we won't be able to make a deal, and it's possible that we will. We have a great personal relationship, and we have a relationship now as two countries, I think that's as close as ever. But we'll see if we can do the kind of changes that we need. We have to protect our workers, and in all fairness, the Prime Minister wants to protect Canada and his people also. So we'll see what happens with NAFTA. But I've been opposed to NAFTA for a long time in terms of the fairness of NAFTA. I said we'll renegotiate. And I mean, I think Justin understands this. If we can't make a deal, it'll be terminated and that'll be fun. If they're going to do well, we're going to do well. But maybe that won't be necessary. But it has to be fair to both countries. No, the press should speak more honestly. I mean, I've seen tremendously dishonest press. It's not even a question of distortion. Like the question that was just asked before about 10 times the nuclear capability. I know the capability that we have, believe me, and it is awesome. It is massive. And so when they make up stories like that, that's just made up. And the generals will tell you that. And then they have their sources that don't exist, in my opinion, they don't exist. They make up the sources. There are no sources. Any other question? We'll decide over the next fairly short period of time, but I think it's going to work out very well for both countries and Mexico. You're going to see very soon. We're going to be announcing that very shortly. What? Oh, sure. Absolutely. It's possible we won't be able to reach a deal with one or the other. But in the meantime, we'll make a deal with one. But I think we have a chance to do something very creative that's good for Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Very good. You mean last week? John, you're so far behind the times. You mean today or last week? Because today I didn't have much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Netanyahu and Mrs. Netanyahu with us. They've been friends for a long time. We have, I would say, probably the best relationships right now with Israel that we ever had. I think it's close now as maybe ever before. Jerusalem was a wonderful thing, and I know it was very much appreciated in a big part of the world, not just in Israel, a very big part. So that was a decision that I had to make. Many presidents were discussing whether or not to make that decision, and they promised it in their campaigns, but they never were able to do what they should have done. So I was able to do it, and I think it's something that's very much appreciated in Israel, but far beyond Israel. We are very close on trade deals. We are very, very close on military and terrorism and all of the things that we have to work together on. So the relationship has never been better, and Mr. Prime Minister, Mrs. Netanyahu, it's a great honor to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. President, Donald, London, Sarah, and I want to thank you for your extraordinary friendship and hospitality. It's always a pleasure to see you both, but this is the first time we meet in Washington, America's capital, after you declared, Mr. President, Jerusalem as Israel's capital. And this was a historic proclamation, followed by your bold decision to move the embassy by our upcoming National Independence Day. I want to tell you that the Jewish people have a long time. So we remember the proclamation of the great king, Cyrus the Great, Persian king, 2500 years ago. He proclaimed that the Jewish exiles in Babylon come back and rebuild our temple in Jerusalem. We remember 100 years ago, Lord Balfour, who issued a Balfour Proclamation that recognized the rights of the
Jewish people in our society. We remember 7 years ago, President Harry S. Truman was the first leader to recognize the Jewish state. And we
마치 환상영화의 한 장면처럼 크게 보는 사람들이 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
Because there are people who are welcoming this meeting. There are people who have remained skeptical about this meeting, but I'm sure that all of them would be watching the moment that we're sitting together, side by side, as if they're watching a fantasy movie.
그사이 우리 많이 생각하고 이제 이것을 보여줄 때가 됐다고 보여줄 때가 와서 이 맛을 걸어서 여기 베트남 하노이 와서 이 둘째 저 훌륭한 대화를 이어가고 있습니다.
So we have made a lot of efforts so far, and we thought that now is time for us to come to Hanoi, sit together, and then have this wonderful dialogue.
근데 역시 훌륭한 최종적으로 지금 좋은 결과가 나올 수 있도록 모든 노력을 하겠습니다.
And let me assure you that I will do all my best to bring a good result ultimately today. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Chairman Kim, and it's great to be with you again, and I'm sure over the years we'll be together a lot, and I think we'll... Thank you very much. It's a great honor, as you know, to be with, because we were together just the other day in front of 59,000 people in the stadium. That was a great day. Prime Minister Modi of India, and we have many things to discuss. One of them, and perhaps in our case, one of the biggest ones is trade. We do a lot of trade together, and we're working on that. We'll also be discussing Kashmir. I imagine that'll be brought up, and other things. So we have plenty to discuss, and the relationship has never been better, I say, than it is right now between the Prime Minister, myself, India, and the United States. So it's a great honor to have you. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद बहुत बहुत आपके साथ और बहुत खुशी हूँ आपके साथ हैं कि मेरी बहुत ही बड़ी बात है यहाँ पर और पिछले कुछ ही दिन पहले 2 दिन पहले हम आपके साथ सेवी में मिले थे यहाँ पे 59,000 लोग वहाँ पे थे आपके साथ मौजूद थे और आज बहुत सी बातें हमें यहाँ पर विचार करनी है मुख्य तौर पर व्यापार की बातें होंगी और साथ ही कश्मीर के बारे में भी बातें होंगी और बहुत सी बातें हैं जिन पर हम बात करेंगे और मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि भारत और अमेरिका के संबंध इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा प्रगाढ़ है सबसे ज़्यादा मजबूत है धन्यवाद।
मैं राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप का बहुत आभारी हूँ ह्यूस्टन स्वयं समय निकाल करके आए काफ़ी समय दिया और अमेरिका में रहने वाले भारतीयों के लिए ये बहुत ही गर्व का अवसर था और मैं इसके लिए राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप का हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारी नई सरकार बनने के बाद अभी 4 महीने भी नहीं हुए हैं लेकिन मुझे राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप के साथ 3 बार मिलकर के अनेक विषयों पर बातचीत करने का अवसर मिला है। दुनिया का सबसे पुराना लोकतंत्र और दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र, इसके बीच इस प्रकार की निकटता, सहजता और लगातार एंगेजमेंट ये लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों में विश्वास करने वाले विश्व के लिए एक बहुत ही शुभ संकेत है। भारत अमेरिका बहुत ही घनिष्ठ मित्र हैं और मूल्यों के आधार पर हमारी मित्रता हमेशा आगे बढ़ती चली जा रही है। जहाँ तक ट्रेड का सवाल है, मुझे खुशी है कि मैं जब परसों ह्यूस्टन में था तो हमारे पेट्रोनेट ने वहाँ पर $2.5 बिलियन के इन्वेस्टमेंट के साथ एनर्जी सेक्टर में इन्वेस्टमेंट का
Well, thank you very much. It's my great honor to have the very popular, and by the way, great athlete, one of the greatest, but very popular Prime Minister of Pakistan. We have many things to discuss, military and terrorism and trade, and I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about trade because we do very little trade with Pakistan compared to what we could be doing and should be doing when our countries really get along perfectly, and I think we're having that start. We're going to have that start. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to be with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands. We've become friends over the last couple of years, and we've had a lot of good conversations with you.
President Trump and members of the U.S. delegation to the Republic of Korea, I'd like to extend my warmest welcome to you all, and thank you very much for joining us today. With President Trump and also myself, during our presidency, I believe that the Iraq-US alliance has made significant improvements, especially in terms of security, and also in terms of economic cooperation, also in terms of trade expansion and mutually beneficial development, and